Hey, it's Shapes, and welcome to another expedition of the Anime Encyclopedia. I'm gonna just get the chat pulled that suck up. Like so. I was going to stream today. I'm streaming. I am still streaming. I was also intending to work out, and literally right as I start working out, I come down with a bit of a stomach bug. So I've expunged most of it, I think, but it's possible that I might have to expunge more of it later on. So if that's the case, I do have VHS No Anime pulled up, and I was like, oh, what would I play on the stream? Because I don't really want to hang on a Be Right Back's thing when I don't know how long it'll be when I'm back. So I thought maybe we'd play something in the case that happens. Hey, it's great to see people in chat. Victor, RC Filmworks, and Veal. Great to see you guys. I'm a little wiped. Only we're expunging a demon. I don't know what I ate. I ate the usual, and then it just happens. It just happens. I was pretty productive today, otherwise. Woke up at like 10, and I ended up working on this big project that I knew was coming for months now, and it's finally here, and we're finally getting this started. Which is good, because I'm happy it's happening at this point, and not like a little later. But, yeah. Flops and dies. I'm exhausted from getting the perfect ending in Persona 4 Golden. Oh, yeah? Music loud. Yeah, fair. I didn't really turn it down I didn't really put it down that much. Something like that. Something like that. Sorry, I'll also bring myself a little closer to the mic as well. Etiquette. But we're doing more 3rd edition. What else is new? Don't know how many more streams this will be, but at the very least, I want to finish M by the end of the month. That's close. That's coming up. So we have this Tuesday. We have a Friday, which I also want to stream then. And we do have one more Tuesday. I like streaming on Tuesdays and Fridays. I don't know about you guys. I like this so far. But that's close. Getting real close. So I might have to do some more reading off stream and stuff, which, I never do, but I shall this time, ideally. Hello, Mia. MIA, that's dirty. Hi. Good to see you. Let's get into the thick of it. Mahia the Servant is our first reading, and it's all 3rd edition, so I don't have to consult the book, which is nice. But I don't know how well this will go. We'll see. Can't wait to see some hot takes on old OVAs. Well, we got a hentai to start out with. They do have I did read this one just a little briefly, just to see if I had read it already. I gotta put the encyclopedia over here, and then my stream and stuff kind of over here. Even though I don't like, I want to be able to talk more to the camera. Trying to make that more of a habit. Something like that. And like that. Okay. Erotic maid service. While trying to come up with insidious and frankly puerile ways to get around the no-touching clause in her contract, this anime is also inadvisable viewing for anyone who likes eels, since it depicts these poor creatures going where no eels have gone before. Nice. Nice! Woo! I'll give it a negative. Which is fair, that does sound repulsive. I wouldn't say it made opinion is it makes sense. I think inadvisable for people who like eels. type of thing is a fair thing to say. Not like any of this isn't fair, just opinion and stuff, but I feel like it's not as much of an opinion as it is a warning. Can't wait to, I've been getting into G Gundam. Very fun. Yeah, have you seen any other of Imagawa's works? Yasuhiro Imagawa is the director of Giant Robo and 3 episodes of Armageddon and Tetsujin 2804 from the 2004 version. Yeah, good director. My Miracle. I feel like I've read this one. I don't think so. Oh, I'm not sure I read this. Feisty 9-year-old. I'm sorry if I'm going to be a little low energy today. I wasn't low energy this afternoon, and then awful demon took a hold of me. That I'm trying to recover from, but I still want to be productive. I don't want to just veg out. I'm making it as an excuse to not do anything. Tuesday's the day when I can do stuff. Not that I wasn't productive. I worked from like 10 to 5. Whatever. Or 10 to 3, 4. Whatever. They wrote a fair deal about this one. Enchanting film. Yeah, it's beautiful. Good. Good article, actually. Just for how glowing it is, and I don't know, just talking about this period of 1955. It's directed and written by Studio Ghibli collaborator Sunao Katabuchi. Stands firmly on turf that Ghibli's founder-directors have staked out as their own. Nostalgia for a remembered childhood and a half-imagined history, a leap of faith across the gap between everyday life and true magic, the small joys and sorrows of a country childhood, the darkness that lurks at the heart of life. Director Katabuchi is no mere imitator. He brings his own vision and voice to this story, his sensitivity, ability to ground magic in reality without reducing it to tinsel, and the sheer sense of fun make it unique. For all the gilding, softening effect of present-day nostalgia, the Showa period was a difficult time of change, challenge, and contrast. Japan was still recovering from a terrible war and the devastating poverty it created. Shinko and her friends are now Japan's sprightly present-day 60-somethings, the generation born in the last years of the war and the occupation, who have lived through Japan's resurgence from atomic devastation to see the film with their own grandchildren. Today, a real-life Shinko would look back to her 9-year-old self and reflect on how far both she and Japan have come since 1955. So for the film is both a historical adventure for modern 9-year-olds and an exercise in nostalgia for their grandparents. It succeeds admirably in both areas, and it's beautiful. Yeah, good sell. Very interesting. Yeah, watch Armageddon. I've been watching the first Gundam, loving that a lot. Good to hear. Yeah, sometimes it just hits you. I've been meaning to continue OG Gundam, just getting sidetracked, but it's also very cool from what I've seen. Matsumoto passed away the other day. Sad, but he had a full life. Yeah, I watched Adieu last night. Adieu Galaxy Express 39. I watched it for, after 4 years of after watching the original series and the movie and Eternal Fantasy. But for some reason, I just kind of held off on doing Adieu. I don't know what specifically drove me to do Eternal Fantasy, but I'm very glad I did, because that was like a high point for me. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna like Adieu, so I held off. And I thought it was literally the perfect scenario. Obviously, it's unfortunate circumstances. I don't, it's sad when anyone passes away. Anyone like that, especially someone of that monumental importance. But I thought it's really profound, especially in the wake of his death, because it literally is all about eternity and the finite of mortality and the finiteness of human life. The idea that like eternal beings should be the ones who rule the universe, and kind of making the argument for just finite life, except it doesn't do that, which I really, really respect. It doesn't kind of go on its high horse and be like, see, this is why you shouldn't be a robot or whatever. It just kind of shows that, I don't really want to spoil the film too much, but it kind of shows that like there is no eternal life. It's just completely, even in this, in this universe of Galaxy Express 39, it kind of shows that like it doesn't really matter if you find that, and if you get eternal life, you're bound to be destroyed either way, which is really interesting. It's like kind of a nihilistic. At first, it seems very nihilistic, like on its face, but like I think it makes sense, and it just kind of makes life more beautiful. I think because it shows that no one's above it. No one's above death. I don't know. It just was really profound for me. I really liked that movie a lot. And it's even better when you have some distance from 3.9, because obviously it would be years since the events of the first movie, and it takes place after the first movie, but years later. And so them saying like, oh, we're back in the saddle kind of deal, like that hit. That really hit. Hello, Greg. Good to see you. My Miracle, pretty good arc. Mai's Magic and Family Days. Apologies, Greg, if I seem low energy. It's because I was ravaged by a certain demon, and so if I have to expunge it further, I might have to. But so far, I'm doing okay. Okay. Not so much about it, but that's fine. Made in Heaven. Super S. Love Hina meets Maya the Servant. Okay. In an interesting experiment, the single story has 2 language tracks, one standard and one incorporating the inner monologue of one of the characters. The technique was employed in both the Japanese and English editions. That's pretty cool. I could put dismissive to put like just Love Hina meets Maya the Servant, but they really don't put that much stock into it, so I don't care. Hey, I'll read this one. Some of you might like this one a lot. I've heard nothing but good things. Kaicho wa Maid-sama. Misaki Ayuzawa has worked her way to the top. She's the first female student council president at a former boys' school, now co-educational. It hasn't been easy winning the respect of the whole student body, and she rules the school with an iron hand. But she has a secret. Her mother barely has enough money to make ends meet for Misaki and her younger sister. Misaki only enrolled at the school because the fees were cheap. To make ends meet, she works part-time at a maid cafe. Naturally, this would completely wreck her image at school. So when her hunky classmate Takumi Usui finds out, she's open to blackmail. But he finds her really intriguing, despite her stern demeanor, and the price of his silence is just spending some time with him. Through him and her classmates, as well as her co-workers at the cafe, Misaki begins to learn better ways to deal with people in this slight but charming romantic comedy. Slight but charming romantic comedy based on Hiro Fujiwara's 2005 manga. Well, they gave some opinion, but it's a very minimal one. I'll give a positive on that one. I don't know what they mean by slight, but whatever. Isn't Maid-sama a Sakurai show? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar. Hiroaki Sakurai. I'm not familiar with him, to be honest with you. Wow. Okay. I'm getting a vibe of what this guy's about. All right. That's cool. Oh, sweet. Okay, did he do the movie? I'm familiar with the movie. I haven't seen the movie, but this is the movie. Oh shit. Wow. So this was his directorial debut, my guy. This is sick. This makes me even want. I've had this particular movie on my radar, based on the Sakagaboru clips. It just looks incredible. Let me just pull this up. Just like, I don't know, this one. Just looks pretty cool, my guys. Gotta tell ya. There's other clips. I didn't realize that. I thought there might be more. No, the layouts are just very just looks like one of those, like, oh, this looks like a pretty competent, like, well-made movie. You know what I mean? No, it won't play. Whatever. I don't know. Anyway, it looks pretty good. But that's cool. What else did he do? Okay, did you carrot? Gotcha. 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 Okay. Gotcha. I still haven't seen Steven's video yet. I'm gonna have to very soon. That might be my favorite Orin episode, actually. Jewel Pet. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. I saw that. I don't remember anything about it, but I saw it. Cool. Okay. I think you've looked him up on stream before. Probably. And I don't think he's had a work for me that's really hit me to be like, oh, I remember that name. Like Eiichiro Yamamoto, Belladonna of Sadness. Once I found that name, I was like, oh, he's a real G. I'll never forget that name. Anywho, made an infringement play. Ugh. Hentai. I don't think that's really a an opinion so much. Suffering like most short series from restrictions of time and budget. Because yeah, Maiden Rose is 5 30-minute episodes and then 2 5-minute episodes, so I get it. I'm happy this is going by kind of quick so far. Another porn. Tenchi Muya with bondage. Okay. Based on the PC game. They don't really have... Yeah, okay. Little weird, little odd choice here. It's another self-referential part. Based on the manga by Tuna Empire. And we didn't make that up. It's a proper translation for Maguro Mikuni. Yeah! My boy! My boy! One of my favorites. Bit of a normie pick, I guess, since it's the only other Oscar anime, but whatever. It's been a while since I've watched it. I'll put it on. You know what? I'll put it on if I have to. I'll have that ready in case. In case I have to do something awful. Oh shit. Hold on. sorry, fellas. Let's read what they got. I think I'll try to watch Concrete Revolutio as my next anime. Okay, yeah. One of Roger's faves. An old man lives in a town which is gradually... I don't want to read this because we might watch it. In case anyone in chat hasn't seen this one? House of Small Cubes. Maison aux Petits Cubes. Tsumiki no Ie. Either one. I don't know why you have to bring that up. I mean, it's interesting, but it seems like that they got their cynicism totally fucking stole the wind out of this thing. Like, they fucking go like, Kunio Kato's melancholy meditation on time and memory won the 2009 Oscar for Best Animated Short Film. But since it was made on company time at his day job at the production company Robot, if he wants to visit his Academy Award, he has to book an appointment with his boss. Like, yeah, that's sad, and it's a reality, but like, why is that the interesting thing you're gonna bring up? Like, I appreciate you bring up the Oscar, but you totally fucking throw cold water on it. Be like, he doesn't have it, the director doesn't get to own it, so he has to book an appointment with his boss. Like, I don't know. That's just really cynical to me. Hi. It's good to see you, Oscar. It's just really disappointing. We're not at Ikoku. We already read that one. Plaisir. House of Small Cubes. I know. I know, it's so good. I'm for certain letting you guys watch it. If I have to go out. Okay. Scatology and more urine stories and more urine are involved in another entry in the Discovery series. I have to read about all this fucking hentai. Oh, woe is me, I know. Imagine writing it, imagine watching it for category for this fucking thing. I get you become cynical after that, maybe. I don't know. Here's one for you, Victor. I'll write this down just for, further evidence of this thing. But I think it'll be just as easy to just Control F and look through all the examples. For Machikoi, based on a porn video game, parentheses, or adult visual novel if you prefer, see Argot and Jargon by Minato Soft. Boy, they sure don't like their visual novels, huh? No, I get it. It sounds like an ecchi title, but dot. Yeah, more the same. Major peak alert? I wonder if this is going to be dismissive. In a baseball romance along the lines of touch or slow step. Yeah, I don't say anything about it. Nothing. Okay. Davis. Not much there. It's funny that they always mention when an anime is based on a porn game, but never say if they're talking about a hentai. No. We kind of allow you to... Sometimes they say that they explicitly call this something pornography or whatever, or say it's part of a certain series, like Discovery series, etc., which, like, they're all in the same vein. But, you're right. They very much don't distinguish whether something's, like, rated X or something. They don't do ratings. They just have content warnings, like language, nudity, and violence. But like, Berserk would probably have those three too, but it's not a hentai, right? Not much in that one either. Sorry if the stream isn't had too much action so far. That's okay. I'm a little low energy right now, and I could use something chill. Hope this is finding you well. Yeah. An average high school pervert. Nice. No, they're not even, like, even in, like, I was worried reading the description that they're just gonna, like, totally trash it. They don't even say anything. They just say, nor is he expecting 3 girls to come into his life on day 1, the childhood friend he hasn't seen in years, the fiancé he never knew he had, and the blonde who wants to exterminate him. In fact, it's really strange how many girls just don't like him. If he could use a Makin, a magical weapon, he'd be fine, but he's the only person in school who doesn't have that magical ability at all. This show, based on Hiromitsu Takeda's manga Makin Ki, was followed with a beach trip video in autumn 2013, with a second TV series in 2014. See, they didn't make any comment about it at all. Good for them. That's fine by me. I'm reading Maki Productions real quick. Oh. Cool. There's a studio, this Maki Pro. This is interesting. A tilting house that performs a relatively simple process, adding credits to animation or blank screens to make the opening or closing titles. Since all anime have credits, Maki Pro's name appears in a huge number of titles, although its role is limited. We presume that Maki Pro's role may have extended to other forms of effects, known in Japanese as Reese work, such as the addition of mist or fog effects to pre-existing film. These jobs, however, are few and far between since the advent of digital animation, allowing more studios to add such effects in-house. Yeah, didn't know that was a thing. That's cool. If you have a similar sense of humor, you may enjoy this anime based on a porn game by Waffle. There it is again! Crazy. I'm reflecting on it more, right? This whole porn game visual novel thing, right? I never played any of them. I don't really have much of a defense in this race. It's just the dismissal and the way that there's obviously a stigma when you call it like that. And even if it's true, right? I think they've clearly created language and terms for these to not just so that they don't just called porn games, and so that titles that are in the same format and style that have no pornography in them at all are lumped in with them and are called porn games, right? But just a general dismiss, like, kind of, it feels like to me every time they use porn game, it's very easy to just kind of like twist that and apply that to how anime has been treated as nothing but porn, right? Having that stigma. And yeah, it exists. There's a lot of it. I've been reading a bunch of these titles. They know that as well. But like, this book is obviously trying to say that there's more to anime than that, than what we generalize it as. It deserves nuance and attention and discussion. But then you're just missing another medium in the defense of another one, right? It just seems, I don't know if hypocritical is the word, right? It just seems distasteful. I don't know. I don't have a good feeling about it when that happens. That's pretty much the articulation I want to try to say. And this is, tried to communicate this in the book too, in the video. It's good to see you, Bob. I'm very low energy today because I expunged a certain demon out of my system, so I'm a little tired. Now we're on Mama Loves Poyo Poyosaurus. A modern Sazai-sod. 52 episodes. Okay. No opinion on it. brought up porn. Well, a lot of the titles I was cycling through, I went through a bunch, like the made section, right? Like made this, made that. A lot of porn goes through, and multiple times they've had this one title here. If you have a similar sense of humor, you may enjoy this anime based on a porn game by Waffle, or another one earlier where I wrote it down, based on a porn game or adult visual novel if you prefer. Like, you could call it an adult visual novel, right? And people would probably get what you're saying, but you're giving it a certain connotation and a bit of a biting stigma towards it. But like, this is the same kind of thing that you're trying to wrestle anime away from, to say it's not all kids shit or porn, right? There's a lot more to it, but then you're putting this entire other medium down, and I don't really have much of a stake in it. I'm just saying that like it's very clearly a bias and a pattern that, like, you know, I really wouldn't, I wouldn't want to make this an encyclopedia. If I have a bit of a bias towards manga, against manga, I prefer anime. Am I going now? If I had a much stronger bias against it, where I like actively avoided it, didn't read it, thought it was bad, all manga was bad or something, and then I try to write an anime encyclopedia, and then I have like this weird hang up or tone or condescension towards manga, it would be really weird, right? To write about it, because anime is so dependent on manga. It does, and same thing here. Like a lot of anime takes from visual novels. Oh, Magikoi. Yeah, I see what you mean. How will this watch this much anime and don't learn how to enjoy hentai? Yeah, I don't know. I get it though, where like because they're cataloging all of it, and apparently I never looked into this, but one of my people in chat mentioned way back, I'm pretty sure Helen, I think it's Helen, before this book did an entire encyclopedia on just hentai. And so it's one thing to just like, hentai as an abstract and be like, just enjoy it for how absurd and ridiculous, stupid it is or whatever. But then reading about it, some of it being so gross and repugnant and dumb in like not an enjoyable way, right? I can understand them being sick of it, but I certainly don't like any of it. I've hardly tried it, to be honest with you. I don't think I can stop. I can barely stomach trailers. Like my boss, like when I was over with my boss's place, he would show us some like, not hentai, but like he would there was like obviously way back in the day of like some of the awful dumb stuff, and then he kept some of it of like some of these really bad localizations. And so like, a lot of the job, because they sold so much hentai back then, was to make trailers for all this hentai. And so he showed me some of those trailers, and I can't stand it. I can't watch. I literally have to avert my eyes. I'm squeamish. I'm just kind of squeamish like that. I get uncomfortable in those scenes with like belladonna of sadness. But it's a part of the work, and it's not all that, but some of these hentai kind of is. So calling something a porn game is neutral and just lets people know what they're getting into. Adult visual novel is more vague. Better to just be explicit so people know what to expect. Sure, that's totally fair. But the fact that they're using it so much, they clearly have a bias against it when they're like, with clan ed and everything. It doesn't seem like there's hardly been any like nuance when it comes to their discussion of video games. I do agree with what you're saying, that it is more vague and but it's also like the people who are going to seek this stuff out are going to know. The people who like we don't live in an era, at least nowadays. Maybe even 2015 this was the case, and in 2001 this may have been the case. Um, but I don't know. I think a lot of the content warnings are very clear now, and I just find calling it a porn game is very blunt. Especially when you look at, like, it's like when Anime Snob calls like Fate a porn game, like Fate Stay Night a porn game. It's like, okay, but there's seems to be more to it in this particular instance. Or rants. Like, I've heard so much stuff about rants, but I've also seen, like, it's porn. It's just like there's certainly that in it. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this stuff needs nuance, and reducing it to porn game is like, eh. Okay. My mush. Ma. May. Bush. Bean cow. Okay. Just a kid show. Future 2003. They got a fair deal to say about this one. Oh. It's kind of a historical fiction thing about Japan, a guy going to Colorado in like the 1800s to study the hydraulic press and then bring it back to Japan. Pretty cool. It's called hentai and it's horror. Sorry, I'm just waking up from an unplanned nap and can barely think. Oh, same. I mean, not quite the same, but I'm low energy. I'll read this one. I know about this one. It's 2030. I'm reading all of them, but like out loud. It's 2035. Japan's birth rate is still falling, and many schools are being closed. Morale among pupils and teachers is low. When Manami Amamiya, nicknamed Manabi, transfers to a new school, she's determined to improve things for everyone and create a livelier atmosphere. She makes a good impression and wins the post of student council president, and then realizes that she has no idea how to run a meeting. Luckily, she has made good friends who help her out. Oddly enough, all four of them also have names beginning with M. A slice-of-life high school show for people who wish all teenage girls looked as if they were 10 years old. Oh my god. It also has a 2007 video release, the obligatory resort trip story, said to be set between episodes 6 and 7. Why do you got a rib on it like that? Like, yeah, they look really, like, they do look like 10-year-olds, but they're in high school. But, like, are you really complaining about that? I don't know if complaining is really the word. It's just, like, so flippant and annoying. Like, you're literally just, like, accusing everyone who likes this show of, like, being pedos or something. I'm generalizing or essentializing this. But that's such a, like... do you know what I mean? That's such an unnecessary jab. Like, what? Like, it's so annoying. I liked the show just fine, and it had nothing to do with the character designs. I think it's an uplifting story. I think Ufotable does a pretty cool... It's interesting to see Ufotable before they really go hard with the digital compositing and stuff. It's pretty well animated, though. Come on, man. Sorry, not typing it there. Type it here. Man, girl. Qua. Odd choice. What are you implying? To be fair, with Mangirl as well, Mangirl, writer Yoshida. Wait a minute, writer Yoshida, as in like the series comp. Hold on. Manglobe? Why did the link bring me to Manglobe? Did the studio make that? No? Why did they bring me to Manglobe? Series comp Reiko Yoshida. Original creator Kaguri Tamaoka. Manga and art from Mangiri. And not K-On! It's not the same author as K-On! It's just the same series composition. Yeah, she did series comp for K-On! And everything like that. Okay. I hate that. I really don't like that essentialism. It's not the same fucking author. Also, blows the dust off. The show came out into, like, the series finishes in 2010. The movie comes out in 12, doesn't it? It came out December of 2011. And then Mangirl comes out like just over a year later. Blows the dust off. What do they mean by that? Earlier work on K-On! Ugh. I'm so sick of it, man. Not of this project, but just... It always annoys me when people complain that characters don't look their age. Maybe the animators wanted that art style. There could be a million reasons for that. I know. And I'm sure there is something to be said that, like, not a ton of them do, but, like, the ones that do, that's also a choice. That doesn't make them better for it, though. That would be giving, like, I don't know. It's all it should always be about the execution. See how they do it. And I think they did a good job. When it turned out to be a story that levered the girl into swimsuits. See, this show's for pervs, guys. Man Globe. I hate it when people make it out like enjoying ecchi's a bad thing. It makes you have immature taste. Yeah. It's just that hypocritical stance of like, ecchi's bad. Not this one though. You know, like either all of it's bad or none of it's bad. Maybe that's too generalized. Obviously there is good and bad ecchi. Like it's poor execution. But people confuse that with the mere existence of it. Like, if it shows a panty shot, all of a sudden, it's really bad, you guys. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Better avoid this one. Have a certain seasonal airing right now that people have that opinion about. This mecha is about the characters. Golden Boy is goated, also high. Yes, I agree, Fulton, man. It's pretty much the one I'm talking about. Okay, Mao-chan. Seems they like it. There you go. Not all cute shows are bad. Silly and sweet. It's weird. I don't know what they mean by this, though. Where once anime sought to allegorize the trauma of Japan's defeat in a terrible war, it now sanitizes and homogenizes it all to look like a glorified treasure hunt out of Pokemon. I don't really have much. I don't know what I'm just confused. It's the best show this season, not gonna lie. And I'm watching 30 seasonals. I need to watch Bungo Stray Dogs eventually, though. Yeah, I have to catch up on it. Not Bungo. Well, yes, Bungo. And this certain other show. But I've had an idea for it. But I just have to finish this fucking Naruto video first. I think I'll work on it tomorrow. You know, I did enough work today on the other project, my discotheque thing, so tomorrow's a Naruto day. I think these guys just say the first thing that comes to mind. Maybe. I don't want to make the assumption. Based on a computer game of the same name. Not much else. Maple Story. I haven't watched anything in a month because I'm swamped with work. Yeah, fair. Everything leads back to Pokemon. Pretty much. It's the first anime they mentioned in the damn encyclopedia. I have to be... Let me just double check. Yep. Introduction. In the introduction, Pokemon is the first anime they mention. The second is Time Bokan. Oh, illustration. Nothing. And Armitage. Armitage hasn't shown up as often lately. It was early on. It was really funny early on, though. Fascinating example of cross-cultural fertilization, but as a game-based quest anime for children, it does nothing new. Compare with Blue Dragon. Another author's note. They're being especially self-referential this reading. I'm complaining about the fucking title? Who cares? Who cares? Nitpicking. Mixed. can't wait till I get to Megami Tensei and call it a Pokemon ripoff. Which is funny because Armitage isn't even that popular. I can see Armitage being decently popular in the West. Seems like the type of show that people who are into Gits and Akira could accept being good. That's the thing. Yeah, it was what they had access to at the time. So it's more in their radar. Mar. Kind of an annoying jab. I'd say this is more dismissive, actually. There's like a committee, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it lacks the wow factor of those two. Geist isn't Akira either, but you hear anime boomers talking about it all the time because it was edgy, and that's like all they would watch back then. That's what they had access to, but also it was kind of forced on them because like Central Arc Media made it their mascot. Probably put trailers on it for everything. Marduk Scramble. I'm realizing now I'm still on MA. Make sure I loop this. Okay. Cute. I like this line. Based on a novel by author To Ubukata and loaded with a series of egg-related puns that only serve to distract from the hard-boiled story. Hard-boiled parentheses sorry story, like a pun. That's fun. I think Armitage is brilliant. To be fair, I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's good. These guys have decent taste, all things considered. I don't think they've ever loved anything that I'm just like, I did not like that thing at all. Typical elitist. Oh, yeah. Marginal Prince. Doesn't say much about it, but okay. They just mentioned the musical sequences. In 2004. Oh, this is Mario. Oh, this is the this is a Yuri, right? Yeah. Elite Catholic girls' school Lillian Academy has a system whereby senior students adopt freshmen as their little sisters, signifying their relationship by giving their chosen freshman a rosary. The two are then known as sœurs, French for sisters. Yumi Fukuzawa is asked by Junior Sachiko Ogasawara to be her sœur, and is drawn into the inner circle of the Roses, the name given to members of the student council, setting the stage for a whole hothouse of blooming passions, rivalries, and non-incidents. Getting elected to the council, giving Valentine's Day chocolate, normally only given to men, and buying jeans all assume massive significance. Based on a series of novels by Oyuki Kono, the 13-episode series spun off a sequel. Spring is the season of change, covering New Year parties, graduation ceremonies, and the start of the Japanese school year in April. But despite this, nothing much happens in the second series either. I'm going to put that as an opinion, but I just want to see where they land ultimately. Humorous outtakes from the series were added to the DVD in 2004 as the 2-minute specials. A video series followed in 2006. I'm just going to put not much happens, apparently. It's kind of a very dismissive opinion. Yeah. Boomer's obsession with empty guys is weird. 1 minute it's the greatest thing ever, next it's overrated crap. I've never heard anyone say anything positive about it. When I first watched on YouTube back in high school, it was filled with comments saying best anime ever. Stuff like that. Wouldn't be surprised if many said that ironically, like they did for Pingu, because the dub is a meme. Right. Maria Holick. I'm gonna say mixed. Boomer anime fans are hard to read, though they seem to all hate FMA. Really? I mean, boomers now love FMA because the people who grew up with FMA in the 2000s are now boomers. See, they're old people. Is that the Dragon Ball? Oh, if you think MD's bad, you should watch a Korean movie called Super Kid. Right. Look, they didn't have Super Kid back then, though, so boomers probably have no idea about it. Maybe they do, but very few of them have seen it compared to Empty Geist. It's all about accessibility of, like, you know, the ones that are actually accessible are the ones people are going to talk about. If it's subbed, it's that much more likely to be talked about or cared about in English-speaking spaces. If it's available to stream, it's even that much more likely. If it's a currently airing seasonal, it's even more likely. If it's based on the certain property, there's tons and tons and tons of factors. I don't know why I have to explain it, but I felt like it. I have seen Super Kid. It's certainly one of the movies of all time. Boomers just refer to people born in the 80s. Ah, I see. Fair enough. Although, no, people born in the 80s are Gen Xers. Which for us are boomers. Because they're old. I think the worst anime I've ever seen is an OVA called Dog Soldier. Yeah, I've heard pretty bad things about that one. Mari and Golly. Golly! Good. Positive. I didn't know that was what it was. Cool. On the internet, anyone in their 20s is a boomer. Fun fact, the guy who wrote that later did that from May 03. Yeah. Marine a go-go. I'll give that a positive. Corny, but consensual is the keynote here. Show like how was a weird resume. Oh, they're gonna trash Marina Go-Go. Yeah, surprisingly no. Surprisingly not. Yeah. They actually came out unscathed. Who would have thought? Mars Daybreak. I have a fair deal to say about that one. Yeah. There's a lot of description of this one. Mars Daybreak. They're still describing it. What the fuck? That's the other way that they mentioned. You guys would never believe this. You remember in the last stream where they were talking about Sato and they're like, "What'd they say about Aria the animation?" Not much at all. In Mars Daybreak, they go, "The anime world, never one to ignore a good idea that has not yet wholly wrung of all saleability, flooded Mars again the following year in Aria." Why do you have to put it like that? Why do you have to put it like that? You could have just said, water on Mars also, you know, is this other one in Aria. Like, I get the comparison, but why do you have to put it as, like, never one to ignore a good idea that has not yet wholly wrung of all saleability? And they also just go, the anime world, as if they're completely ignoring that it's a manga first. Isn't Mars Daybreak the Eureka 7 guy? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not familiar. Director. It's a different director because I know Aoki directed Eureka, but yeah. They do seem to like it though. Yeah, I guess. Mars Breaks is a legit good show. Unfortunately, it got shafted. Oh yeah, that's too bad. I'm not sure what you mean by shafted though. Mori Masaki. Sometimes miscredited as Mori Masaki. That's literally what you put. I'm not like, am I high? Bro, you put Mori Masaki, pseudonym for Masaru Mori, sometimes miscredited as Mori Masaki. Mori Masaki. Like, that's literally what you put, my dude. What's going on? Mori Masaki. Still apparently a miscredit. Masaru Mori. But, huh? Oh yeah, he's Trixie talked about him. This is the guy Trixie talked about. Barefoot Gen, Hagure Mono, Door into Summer, and Time Stranger. Yeah. Cool. Anyway. There's Break from a different guy, but most of the writers are from Eureka. Okay. He scripted several anime, including Dagger of Kamui and Harmageddon. By the way, I forgot. I actually am now interested in Mongirl. Not for what they said about it, but for concept sounded fun. Yeah, screenplay. Wow. And for Dagger of Kamui. Damn. He had some bangers. And now Kenzo Masaoka. They have a lot to say about this guy. He's a formative early anime director, animator. Wow. Very interesting. Very interesting bio. I should probably write, I want to write that down actually. Okay. I was watching this video about the Time Stranger Famicom game. Even for licensed 8-bit game standards, it's really bad. Like, the main characters aren't even in it. Ah! Damn. I feel like I talked about this one. Not talked about it, but like I've read it, I think. Seems familiar. That's weird. I did read this. Yeah. Based on it, yeah. Typical softcore harem with more emphasis on romance than sex. Will they be able to help the sheltered princess with the academy deal with the tensions underneath the polished exteriors? Yeah, I did read this. Okay, yeah. Yes, it's because Victor wanted me to read it. Let me see, make sure I've no. Nope. Nope. Okay. Mask of Glass. Have I put Mask of... Yeah, Mask of Glass is... Oh, I already read it, obviously. Yeah, duh. Anyway. Go, man. Dealing with rumors again. The video is an unaired episode set at the beach. Allegedly, it could not be aired for, quote, ethical reasons. Draw your own conclusions. It's more of a pass. I don't really think it's an opinion so much. It burdened with more comedy breasts than any show could be reasonably expected to carry. Eh. Year 2183. Oh, yes, I have to write that down. Master of Epic. What a great title. Sorry, I'm not talking too much. Gotta, doing the work, I guess. Gets me to do it. Yeah. I'd say more negative. Wow, what a coincidence. The stream. Let's see, let's read out loud what they gotta say about Leiji Matsumoto. Pseudonym for Akira Matsumoto, sometimes credited as Reiji Matsumoto, the Leiji is his preferred romanization. Born in Fukuoka Prefecture, Matsumoto was still a 15-year-old high school student when he published his first manga. He went to Tokyo in 1958, where he continued to pursue a manga career. Although he worked chiefly in girls' comics for many years, his adoption of the Leiji Matsumoto pseudonym, signifying his eventual break with previous work, drawn under his own name. He took a direct hand in the production of anime adaptations of his work, contributing to Star Blazers as a director and designer, and elements of the Captain Harlock franchise as a designer and screenwriter. The bulk of his anime credits, however, are as the creator of the original manga on which an anime happens to be based. He was involved for some years in a legal dispute with producer Yoshinobu Nishizaki over who is the creator and hence controller of Star Blazers, which remains a lucrative source of merchandising, spin-off, and remake revenue. The dispute was considered resolved by the latter, Nishizaki's, death, albeit only because Matsumoto was the last man standing. It sure doesn't matter now, does it? They didn't mention 3-9 once in that thing? Really? No Emeraldus? They just really mentioned Star Blazers and Harlock? A little disappointing. Oh well. Moving on from that, I guess. Again, I apologize for not having too much energy tonight. Compendium. Could also mention the cockpit. I haven't watched the cockpit yet, but I really want to, because it's fucking. It's, if I'm not mistaken, it's Tomino, Kawajiri, and Ryosuke Takahashi, right? I could be wrong about that. Let me see if I'm right about that. I haven't even seen it. That feels right to me. I was gonna say Otomo at one point, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Otherwise, you probably would have heard about it a bit more. Yeah, Kawajiri, Ryosuke Takahashi. Ah, Takahashi Imanishi is the other director. My apologies. Yeah, and he's credited as original creator. Yeah, Tomino's not involved in that one. Kawamoto is credited for character design now. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did work on a lot of Gundam, a lot of Tomino stuff, though. That's cool. This was his first, this is his first work. The Josei. Most of the director for Stardust Memory. Yeah, cockpit. Oh, the movie for Violin Hamlin. No way. That's cool. For Origin? Nice. Much love. Rip Matsumoto. I gotta thank Cartoon Network for introducing them to me through Interstellar. You too? Not me, but it was funny how many people, like, apparently through 5555 it was just like such a huge thing, and then, like, people thought Daft Punk died. Um, I did see some pushback from some of my mutuals saying that, like, you know, he kind of didn't really involve himself in that one. He gave his designs, but that's kind of it. And he's not as that's not as much his work as some of the other stuff. But celebrate however you want. It you know, it's good. I haven't seen it, but heard good, only good. In Germany, we only got 13 episodes of Harlock, and then it got canceled. Dang. Although Swim would sometimes rerun Star Blazers, didn't watch it much because the dub was too dated. Really? I didn't know that. That's really interesting. I'm surprised we really don't have that much access to it. I don't know why they haven't even... Like, even if they don't want to release the original Yamato, at the very least, put the Star Blazers dub, like, sync it to the new HD transfer. You know? Like, why not? Is it really that bad? Is it really that, like, stitched up? Like hacked up? I doubt it. Can't be that bad. I say, hesitatingly. Sorry, Maya Miyazaki Compendium. Awesome, great. Another hentai. People don't really complain about the Voyager company as much as they do for Harmony Gold. I've watched all of original Harlock and the Galaxy Express movies. Probably wouldn't have done that had it not been introduced to the man's work. Oh yeah. I don't even know who they are. Yeah. Mixed. This is a title. Okay. That makes me want to watch it. It's only 32 minutes. No shit. Hold on. Could it be? Doesn't seem to be on YouTube. Not even a clip. I don't think they know what it is. Did I do it again? Did it happen again? Did it happen again? Yeah, it fucking happened again. Oh, come on. Every time. Every time. This looks so cute. Of course. Let me see if I can find it. Nope, it doesn't even show up when you put the Japanese in. Dang. This is the only thing this man did. He's the manga artist. He's originally the manga artist. Dude. I love finding cool stuff like this. Makes it all worth it. All of it makes it all worth it? That's a big claim there. It makes a lot of it worth it. It's a good perk. Okay. I want to finish the stream on a known title. I don't know which one that'll be, but we'll see. A little I'm not gonna write it down obviously, but a little grammar snafu. Adapted from Tomoko Nishimura's 2006 high school romance manga, this was successful enough that a second series. Oh, I guess the period was the only thing that they didn't want to put there, because the rest of it flows okay. Yeah, whatever. Oh, well, that's negative, unfortunately. Okay. You know what? Let's send them a Medaka box. I don't think they have... I'm just peripheral glance. I don't think they say anything interesting about it, but I'll read it out loud. Super efficient, super confident, massive-breasted Medaka Kurokami wins the race to be class president with a boggling 98% of the vote, and determines to right all wrongs in her school with the aid of her meek-mannered childhood friend Zenkichi and a suggestion box. Memorably described by Anime News Network as Sket Dance with Boobs, this forgettable school comedy was followed by a second season in which the titular chesty heroine is co-opted into a dastardly scheme to create a master race by sacrificing her fellow students. Based on the manga by Nisio Isin. Okay. Very dismissive. I wonder who wrote that, Sket Dance with Boobs. Couldn't be bothered to mention that this is by the author of Monogatari or anything. That's right? Am I correct? Nisio Isin? Am I dumb? Nope, I'm not dumb. Okay. Alright. What do they think of the 12 Kingdoms? Nisio Isin was the writer. Yeah. Let's see what they think about 12 Kingdoms. And then I'll probably head out for the night. Unhappy teenager Yoko Nakajima is suddenly Based on the series of novels begun in 1991, the first story arc often plays like a new version of Escaflowne or Fushigi Yugi, because of course it does. We have, of course, a Japanese girl transported to an otherworldly kingdom. The early episodes, coincidentally based on the book Sees Darkness, Moon Shadow, although they have no relation to the Chie Shinohara story of the same name. Yoko's difference is telegraphed from the earliest moments by her naturally red hair. Whereas anime hair colors are often wholly random and unrealistic, the script soon calls attention to Yoko's when her parents urge her to dye it black in order to fit in. A brown-red deviation from the normal black is what happens when you try to bleach Japanese hair, and is often used in fiction to suggest a girl is something of a wild child. This has led, ironically, to Japanese girls who genuinely do not have standard issue black hair being forced to dye their hair black in the manner to which Yoko's parents are alluding. Yoko, it is alleged, is one of the latter, a straight-A student who has been voted class president, but who is being led away from her previous childish things by the allegorical temptations of the 12 Kingdoms. By the 6th episode, however, the story has taken a radical departure, dumping Yoko into the company of a number of beast-like creatures in a more surreal setting. Yoko's adventures start to take on elements of The Wizard of Oz, or more properly, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, as Yoko discovers that she really is fated to be queen of one of the lands, and that only her successful ascension to the throne can restore the sundered and ruined kingdoms. In another parallel with both Oz and Narnia, the focus of the story leaves its original protagonist for long periods of time, concentrating on some of her associates. In the next story arc, based on the novel Sea's Wind, Maze's Shore, there are also elements of the lost children of Haibane Renmei, in a series of fairy tales that unite the stories of mundane urban tragedy in our own world with the incarnation of fantastic creatures in the 12 Kingdoms. Later chapters, based on the novel 10,000 League Wind, Dawn Sky, see Yoko becoming ruler of one of the kingdoms and forced to deal with the aftermath of her less than illustrious predecessor. They just didn't put spaces there. Less than illustrious. I thought they used another wacky word. Alongside politicking by some of her rival queens and long tangents that discuss some of their own backstories. A few final stories prepare the ground for a last battle as... I don't really know if it's a spoiler, really. It's never that light of a spoiler, but it's close. It's very close. The original novels presented a sprawling saga distantly inspired in the fashion of Like a Cloud, Like a Breeze by Chinese history and mythology. However, it is worth noting that the stories have been shuffled and rearranged for this anime version. Two of them, Correspondence and Alley of the Moon, were originally short stories and are dealt with in just 2 episodes, while others are stretched over many chapters. The final story arc, 5 episodes that draw on the novel Eastern Sea God, Western Ocean, almost exhausts the original source material featuring Yoko, although other books about other cast members still remain unadapted. As with Iron Fist Shinmi, the exhaustion of the original material left the producers with the difficult choice of pressing on regardless and diverging from the original even further, or calling a hiatus with the vague hope of restarting if the material becomes available. Hence, although originally planned as a 68-episode series, 12 Kingdoms currently grinds to a halt at 45, with some plot elements left unresolved, an unfortunate fate for an anime that has gained a large and appreciative following for its literary novelistic density and complex relationships. 2 PlayStation 2 spin-offs are also followed. They don't really give their opinion, but that was very dense. I'll just say dense. Okay. It's one of those dumps. It's kind of reminded me almost of them listing all the OVAs and shit. So they basically say nothing. Yeah, I guess it was somewhat informative. With, like, I didn't know that it was the way it was, the novel, the way that adaptation is stretched out. Like, that is interesting to me. But that's kind of it. Still rather have them say nothing than crapping on it. Exactly. That is nice. That is nice. Cool. Sorry, I read 12 Kingdoms at the end there, but it's fine. I'm on the docket box. Alright. It's been about 2 hours for me. So I think I'm gonna call it there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry it was, workmanlike, very just reading stuff. Could probably go another hour in terms of just getting more done. Could see how many articles I have left, but I'm sure it's plenty left. Plenty. Yeah. It's been 2 hours. See ya. Dang, just tuned in. Oh, sorry, it's your guy. Thankfully, I have the whole thing archived. YouTube is very nice like that. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, if you catching it, I'm gonna try to stream Friday. I don't know if I can make that or not, but we'll see. Yeah. But it was very good. So good seeing you guys. Yeah, peace.